Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick look at Scrolls, the new game from Mojang. If you're unfamiliar, they are the company responsible for Minecraft. This is very much a very big difference in game type than Minecraft. This is going to be a trading card game slash strategy game of sorts. Kind of the gameplay in terms of the cards can remind you of Magic in a sense. We'll get into that when we start a game. Just real quick, to get into the beta that's going on right now, you buy the game for $20. It is a bit more than most beta purchases, but I do think that there's a lot to this game and that it can provide you enough fun if you're interested in this kind of thing, to where $20 isn't really too much. Similarly, the store has two types of currency. You got gold that you earn from matches and shards that you earn from paying real cash money. The shards are very restricted in their usefulness. There are some things that you can't even buy with shards, as you see up here, as well as most of the things that you can buy. Everything is purchasable with a reasonable amount of gold, and nothing is really important that can be purchased with them that you really need in order to succeed. So there's a bit of that pay-to-play mechanic in a way, but it's not to a point where it's necessary. So I think it is much more reasonable than in a lot of cases where you're paying for the game and that's in there. So let's jump into a quick match so we can start going over the gameplay here. I've only got one deck. It's the deck that I got to begin with, the pre-constructed order deck. Let's see, what am I going up against here? Is this is an energy deck, which I have a lot of trouble with against the easy AI here. Horn of Ages, that's gonna be move decreased by 1 for enemy. So each turn you're gonna have the ability to choose one of two things that you can only do once a turn. You can sacrifice a card for energy, which will be this logo of whatever energy type the card is here. Which replaces the land in a magic type game, or you can sacrifice the scroll for 2 more scrolls. Obviously early in the game the most important thing is getting energy on the board so you can summon creatures and play other cards. Since we have it available, we are going to play summons here. That's going to summon this here obelisk. It summons a structure for you, which are purely defensive creatures, so to speak. And then we're going to end our turn. So if you look at the grid layout here, you've got these 5 idols in the back here, all of which have 10 health. Your goal in the game is to take out 3 of these idols. Or if your opponent takes out 3 of yours first, they win. If you take out the other 3, if you take out 3 first, you win. It creates a definitely changed mechanic from a game like Magic. In the sense that your characters are all going to attack in set patterns, either in a straight line ahead of them, or there are some called lobbers that are going to lob something and hit a series of spaces on the other side. The lobbers can't damage your idols, however, they can only damage your units. We want to sacrifice this guy for energy, and we're going to play this obelisk here to block this guy's attack. So the game comes down to a balance of sacrificing scrolls as need be for resources, as well as playing your cards in intelligent areas to prevent yourself from dying. So we're going to sacrifice this purification here for energy. That removes an enchantment from whichever card you place it on. It can be useful, but it's not the most useful card in the deck by a long shot in my opinion. We're going to put this guy over here. He's relentless, which means that if he attacks something that has, say, 2 health with his 3 damage, he's going to do 2 damage to them and then 1 damage to whatever the next thing behind him is. So as you can see, especially in terms of the card setups, there's definitely a bit of magic influence there. We're going to sacrifice that for energy. That gives me 1 extra move, which can be useful in situations, not too much so here. See, this is a Ducal Skirmisher, Relentless. That is almost the exact same as this one, but since it has 4 health instead of 3, it's taking me an extra energy. That seems kind of unusual. But we're gonna keep going here. This is an interesting game. I don't have the best of luck in it so far. I would really like to get better at this, but it's gonna take me some time. I'm gonna sacrifice this for 2 more scrolls. Vengeance Veal. This would give us whatever the unit I'm on is attacked, it lowers its countdown by 1. This lets me attack an enemy unit and do 1 damage to them as well as draw a card. In terms of the countdown being referenced, if we look at, let's say, the Stukel Skirmisher card here, we see 3 values. The attack, which is how much damage they're going to do. This is the countdown. When this reaches 0, they're free to attack. So think of it as a cooldown on a spell. Each turn that goes by, this is going to decrease by 1 until it hits 0, at which point it activates, and then starts over. The health here is for, obviously, how much damage they can take. Cooldown management is a big one, especially in this deck. There are certain cards that give a bonus if you have them next to other units. For example, one of them that I have is called the something general, which causes it so that any adjacent units, when its cooldown hits 0, lowers the others by 2, which for a lot of cards is enough to put them into attack mode. So there is a lot of balance in that respect of trying to put things together so that you can align things as well as you can. Some decks are obviously differently based. This deck is definitely based around the synergy between the cards. We're gonna put this archer back here for now. And then we can also play another Stukel Skirmisher, which can go right up here. My problem with these energy decks is they start to get a lot of card attack and direct damage cards, spells, that can kind of tear up your units if you aren't prepared for them. And a lot of times I find with my deck it's kind of hard to get ready for them. It's not to say it's unbalanced by any means, but it's definitely something that makes it a little bit more difficult. So now this guy is going to do 2 damage, which would kill my obelisk here. Give me 1 more energy. We're going to sacrifice Callback for another 2 cards. And then we're going to see what we got here. So we got Resonant Helm, which is enchanted unit's health is healed by 1 every time you play a spell or enchantment. That is rather useful, but I'm not going to worry about it too much for right now. I am going to put the Stukel Skirmisher on this row here to be back up once the obelisk is gone. And we're also going to play this Sin-Marked Zealot, which when the countdown is 0, I can sacrifice it to deal 2 damage to another unit instead of attacking. This one I will play down on this other open row here. He's going to do 3 damage to that totem, to that idol, which puts it 1 hit away from death. Now this is one of those lobbers here, the Catapult of Goo. As you can see, if I hover over it, it's going to hit these 3 spaces, so 2 of my units are at risk here. Since it does 1 damage, this guy would die, this guy would survive. You can tell what units of your opponents are going to attack the next turn based on if they have this little glowing circle and glowing spot underneath them. This guy is going to do more than enough damage to take out this tower and this idol, so I'm going to move him over here to start doing damage to this structure here. And this is the one that I was talking about, our Honorable General here. That's a very good card, in my opinion. Resonant Helm I'm going to sacrifice, which gives me another Vengeance Veal, as well as Power Bound, which means that when the unit is destroyed I get 1 energy. I'm going to play that on this guy since he's going to get destroyed by that Cannon of Doom next turn that he has. And then the Vengeance Veal, I might as well play on one of these guys that's being mostly defense right now, just so I can get more order that way. A lot of times you don't need as much as you can possibly get, but it's never a bad thing to have more than is necessary, because obviously then you're going to have an easier time of handling situations. These guys are each going to heal both of them for 1 point each. So we're going to draw a new card. Frostwind here allows me to extend cooldown. Normally I don't worry too much about this card. I would usually sacrifice it. But seeing as he's going to do a lot of damage next turn, I feel like it would be better for me to play this right here. That's going to extend the cooldown of pretty much all of his units except for this one up here. And I can put this guy up here to block. And then we're going to end our turn. That'll do 1 damage to that idol. I should have sacrificed him for 2 damage to a creature. I kind of forgot to do that. This thing is a Royal Pain. This is an ether pump. Essentially that is going to cause me to take 1 damage to all my units every turn that its cooldown is up. So every 3 turns it's going to do 2 damage to my units. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it really does balance out to being kind of important. We're going to play this guy. No, we're going to sacrifice him for 2 more scrolls. Then we're going to play our Honorable General back here behind this obelisk where he's safe for the moment. And I have no energy left, so we will go ahead and end our turn. That'll take out that goblin thing there. That is going to... Whenever an enchanted structure is destroyed in melee combat, its attacker takes 4 damage. That's actually really painful. Let's see now. We can kill this guy with Mojang, which will allow me to draw a card. It's going to give me another power bound. We can use... We want to destroy this turn, but it's going to cause probably both of my guys to die if I do. Callback I can't use on that, right? Let's sacrifice Callback here for 2 scrolls. That's going to give me Blessing of Haste, which decreases my cooldown by 1 on a unit. As well as another Mojang spell. Let's go ahead and cast that on this guy. Pushback would be really good right now. In fact, I think I'm going to use Flip to move this guy out of the way. Yes, and then we're going to move him down here, and then this guy can go up 1 to attack this idol on the top. So as you can see, you definitely kind of need to pay attention strategy-wise to what you're doing to make sure that your moves are going to not only benefit you that turn, but also going forward. So my wall has finally died. This catapult is going to hit my general unless I can get him out of the area, which I should not be able to this turn. I'm going to use pushback on this. That'll send it back to his hand, as well as take away its ability to hurt me for the time being. We're going to sacrifice Power Bound for 2 scrolls. We are going to play Blessing of Haste on our general, which is going to give him an attack this turn. And with 3 and 4 here, that's going to be enough to destroy this. By moving him up there, his ability here to decrease other units' adjacent cooldowns by 2 has caused this guy to be ready to attack as well, which is going to give me enough damage to take that out. That guy's not going to attack on this turn, neither is that one. So we're good for this turn, and we really have nothing else that we need to do. We could summon this Royal Infantryman back here as a way to encourage us to have more damage when we get the chance. So this is going to be idol number 2 taken out. Now my goal here is to take out as much as I can in this next turn. We only get one attack. That guy's gonna hit that one. That guy's gonna hit my general. Let's see. This guy is ready to attack. He's gonna do 3 damage. I can boost him up with this focus spell, so we can do 6 to that idol. We're gonna cast New Orders here. That is going to allow my general to move up and out of the way of this goo cannon. Unfortunately, it isn't to the way of that one, but at least it is a little bit better placement. Similarly, we're going to move... Actually, he's safest where he is for right now. So, this guy will attack. We're going to use focus on him. Let's draw 2 new scrolls with this one. Royal Vanguard is a really good card. It gives units nearby +2 attack till end of turn when its countdown becomes 0. But we're going to summon this Ducal Spearman, who is spiky ×2, so if anyone attacks him in melee, he's going to do 2 damage to him. And then we're going to cast this on him, and we're going to take this idol down to 3 health on this turn. Burn Spell is one of the ones that gives me a lot of problems when he gets the chance to use them early. Right now I've actually managed to get myself in pretty good shape compared to where I find myself a lot of times against this deck. Purification will gladly sacrifice for 2 more cards. This guy we might as well move down here, just so we can start doing some damage to that goo cannon. Waking Stones is going to give us defense, and it lowers all enemy attacks against it to 1 damage. So if we back this guy up, we can put this in front of him. And then we can summon up this Royal Infantryman just as a blocker against this guy for the time being. That'll be the end of our turn. Now we're going to get no cooldowns done just yet, which is unfortunate. He had time to summon that Ether Pump again. What does that other card do? Target creature's attack and health switch values. Okay, so we're going to get a couple attacks off on this turn. But the Ether Pump is going to absorb 5 damage, which is going to more than survive these 2. So what do we want to do here? I'm going to say that we're going to... Neither of these guys... Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Neither of these guys have enchantments on them. Unfortunately, moving him up here really messed me up. Or he has Vengeance, which is actually useful for when he was going to get attacked a couple times this turn. We're just going to move this guy... Can't get him out of the way and still block this gun automaton. Let's move him down this way, I guess. He's still gonna get hit, but it'll be a little bit more reasonable. Sacrifice this for 2 cards. Plate armor would make it so that people only take 1 damage. At the moment, no one's really important for that. Ducal Spearman, though, we can summon here as extra blocking against this Gravelock Raider. And then we can... Let's put plate armor on him, actually. With his 5 health, that'll be useful. So now we need to wait until our cooldown is back to 0, which is going to be kind of a pain. He has summoned another creature, but that'll attack our wall, hopefully before we attack. It should definitely, with its cooldown being where it's at. His spiky damage just killed that other guy there. Crown of Strength gives +1 attack and +2 health to the target unit. Not the biggest deal. We're going to move him here to get one of these catapults of goo down. We're going to sacrifice this for 2 more. We get Focus and Thought Trap. We're going to put... Actually, I want that guy to attack. So we aren't going to play that. Focus we're going to save because we can put it on this guy to make sure the game ends. Next turn. Right? Yeah, next turn, assuming stuff is still alive. And we might as well summon out our Vanguard here. Just as extra defense. And if his cooldown... If I can find a Blessing of Haste for him, I can increase some damage values. I have actually managed to win with destroying more than more than 3 towers. Not very commonly, but I have managed to do it once against the easy AI. So as you see, that guy is up to 2 health now because he got healed by 1. We are taking kind of a lot of damage this turn, but the game will be over here. We're going to put focus, which will give us +3 attack until the end of the turn. We're going to attach that to him. And then everything else we can do doesn't really matter because the game is going to end this turn. But we will, just for the sake of it, summon an obelisk in case I'm wrong and something goes wrong I'm not expecting. Let's go ahead and end our turn. That idol's going to take 3 damage, that one will take 1, and this one will take the 3 for victory. So that's about a normal game of Scrolls. As you see at the end here, you get rewards, different points for victory, which varies against the AI level. Completion bonus, idols destroyed, you get a bonus for each one. Obviously, if you manage to destroy multiple on the last turn, that's going to be worth more for you. And then total is how many you get for total gold you get for the match. So under that you have all these different stats and everything about the game. I don't really pay too much attention to those when it comes to AI matches. I'm sure it could be interesting when you're fighting against a friend or something to compare different stats so that you can say, oh, well, you won, but I did more damage. That type of thing. So that's just a quick view of the single-player AI matches. The other thing that we also have here, of course we have multiplayer. Quick match, which is just a one-on-one match for fun, pretty much, with higher gold rewards. Ranked match is going to be, as it sounds, a ranked game where you get points toward rankings. You can also come down here, anyone in the room, at least anyone in the room. I don't know if there's another way to do this, but you can click challenge there to challenge them to a match. So if you're looking to try to challenge a specific player to a battle, the easiest way that I know of yet is to join up in the same room and then click on their name and challenge them. The other thing that we have here, I haven't actually looked at profile yet. Games played 6, games won 5, surrendered 0, scrolled 60, rarities 39, 15, 6. I'm not actually sure what those different values apply to. Our gold total for the moment. You got our settings here, which are pretty basic. Sound volume, music volume, message sounds, full screen, and resolutions. But the other main thing gameplay-wise we got here is trials. Trials are battles where there's a specific qualification for the battle that will help to, and that will cause you to try to play different strategies. This one here, your opponent's idols start with 5 health instead of the normal 10, and you begin the battle with 2 eternal statues, which I'm not sure what that means. But these are going to have higher gold rewards to beat. They're going to have various different requirements. If you look at the bottom one here, I'm sure that this is going to be any unit played by your opponent comes into play with Machination Mindset and Blast Strike buffs. I'm not sure what those are, but obviously the challenges are going to get very difficult as you get through, giving you more and more challenges as you go through them. I haven't jumped into them just yet, and you only get the gold for the first time through, but I do plan on getting into these before long to kind of practice varying things a bit. So that's been a quick look at Scrolls. You might see more of this game on the channel sometime soon. I do plan on definitely playing more of it, even if I don't get the chance to record it. I'll probably be streaming it again at some point. Also, one of the main streamers who I follow, Empty Apartment Gaming, has been playing this, he said, and I've challenged him indirectly to a battle. So at some point we're going to play it. I might make an effort to try to record that, just so that it's up there, as an example of multiplayer games. The other thing that we have here that I haven't gone over, actually, I almost forgot that I didn't touch on this very much, is the deck builder. Essentially up here is going to list all the different cards you have. their energy cost, their type of energy, everything's shown. And then you're able to drag and drop them into your deck here at the bottom, which will allow you to build your own deck. Obviously, as per any kind of card game that revolves around energy, you are able to build a custom deck that uses multiple energies for sure. Obviously right now I only have the pre-constructed order deck, and I don't have that many cards of growth or energy yet. And you don't want to put too many in there, because they'll eat up cards and you might not get enough to sacrifice for the right type of energy, or you might not get a card after you do have energy that you can actually play. So once you get a lot more cards built up, it definitely becomes feasible to build cross-energy decks, and I really look forward to when I have enough cards to do that. For right now I'm just rolling with a pre-constructed deck, so I don't really have that much in terms of bonus cards. And so yeah, that I think covers about all the basic features of the game. Like I said, we'll probably be seeing more of this on the channel. I really do enjoy this game so far, and I do plan on playing quite a bit more of it. Thank you all for tuning in. Just so you know, I have recently joined Twitter, twitter.com/MentosMan8. So, for right now I haven't been using it for much, but I will be trying to update when I go live streaming, or maybe even put up when I update a YouTube video, especially if I get a little bit bigger following where there are people who are going to see it who can react to it. Right now I don't really have the followers to where that's all that important, but yeah, if you guys want to give me a follow there, that'd be cool. Let you know when I'm making any kind of videos. We also have my Twitch stream, which I try to do at least a couple times a week, which is twitch.tv/MentosMan8. And of course we've got the videos here, which you can offer likes, subscriptions, comments, anything on, any kind of support.